Fun in the rain with density. Friday night, Tom and Steve were watching the news with their parents. They were so excited about the weekend and couldn't wait to meet up and play with their friends at the park. "We are going to have so much fun playing baseball tomorrow," Tom said. "I can't wait to try out my new mitt," Steve exclaimed. All of a sudden, the TV started beeping. "Warning, a severe thunderstorm is heading this way. Expect rain showers all day tomorrow." "No!" Tom and Steve shouted. "What are we going to do? How can we play baseball if it's going to rain all day?" "It's okay, boys," their mother said. "While there is going to be a lot of rain, it doesn't look like we will get any thunder or lightning. You can still go play at the park with your friends." "What on earth will we do at the park, Mom?" asked Steve. "Well, when you were little, you used to love to splash around in the puddles. Why don't you boys make boats and you can go float them in the giant puddles?" "That's a great idea," Tom said. "Why don't you practice making some boats and test them out in the bathtub?" their mom said. While Tom ran to fill up the tub, Steve thought about what they could use for a boat. The first thing Steve finds is a nice polished rock he had found the day before. He ran to the bathtub and dropped it in. "Well, that's not going to be a good boat," Tom said as the rock sunk to the bottom. "That's because the rock is denser than the water," their mother explains. "What does denser mean?" asked Tom. She tells the boys that density is the object's mass, or how heavy it is, times its volume, or what is in it. The denser object will sink. Tom and Steve become very curious and try to find objects that are denser than water. Tom runs and grabs a tin filled with pencils off his dad's desk. After dumping out the pencils, he runs to the bathroom. Tom tells Steve this will make the perfect boat because there is nothing in it, so its volume must be less. Tom places the can into the water, but it sinks. "Maybe the metal material gives the tin a greater mass," says Steve. "It must be too heavy." They both run off to try and find something that they can use to make their boat. Tom comes back with a styrofoam cup, and Steve comes back with a small block of wood. They are both convinced that their object's mass and volume will be less than that of water. They both drop their objects into the water. The wood and the cup both float. They agree that the density of both the wood and the styrofoam must be less than the density of water. These objects will make great boats. Tom and Steve spend the rest of the night making and decorating their boats. Once it is time for bed, they see that it is already starting to rain. They put their boats on the nightstand and can't wait to wake up and take them to the park. The next morning, the boys wake up, get dressed, eat breakfast, put on their raincoats, and grab their boats as fast as they can. They get to the park and pick out the biggest puddle they can find. They set their boats to sail, and they sail great. Steve looks at Tom and says, "It's a good thing we know about density." The end.